So I'm going to show you how to utilize the request browser in Fenix, which is a little bit different from the web serving capabilities. It's kind of the opposite, actually. So instead of serving up web content, you're actually going to be receiving requests. So I'm going to launch this from the main console. You'll notice that the top toolbar there went from gray to yellow to green. The gray, it was trying to create the new server to accept requests on. The yellow indicated that it was available locally, and it automatically tries to share this publicly so that you can receive webhook requests from an external party on the internet, such as a cloud service provider like a GitHub webhook or any other kind of webhook. But for the time being, I'm going to show off one of the interesting features, which is actually unsharing this. So that if you are running a local environment, a local server environment of some sort, you can still run a webhook and still see what your payload is actually delivering. So I'm going to unshare this. And again, just like the web servers, there is growl support for this, so you will be notified of requests. And I'm going to use the little Postman tool to simulate a webhook. So I'm going to copy this local URL here, and I'm just going to send a basic GET to start. So you can see that on the left-hand side, a GET popped up. There's a little notification here on Windows, just a little blink to let you know that it's available. And when you click on this, you'll notice that, well, it's blank, right? There's nothing there, but that's because this is a GET request. You can show the headers, and it will show you what the request was made with, but this isn't terribly useful or terribly interesting or frankly even all that common. More times than not, you're going to be receiving a webhook because you're expecting data, either a JSON payload or XML or something of that nature. So I'm going to come back into Postman and create a simple JSON post here. So here's a really simple payload. I'm going to send this post. Now when we click on this, you'll see that there's a nice pretty output, line numbered with your JSON output. And of course we can do the same thing with XML, which I can't remember the exact syntax. But something along those lines. And you'll notice that that also comes out formatted. This will also work with basic text, but text, JSON, and XML are really the essential ones that you're leveraging. So now that we've covered some basic local webhook receiving capabilities of Fenix, I'm going to show you how it would work from the outside world. So if you have a GitHub webhook, so I'm going to go ahead and share this. It connects, and then it gives me an external address that I can go to. So I'm going to copy that. I could just open this and we'll see yet another GET request. In fact, we'll probably see two because it'll look for a time. And right now it just says OK. You see your notice down in the bottom here, and lo and behold, there is a couple of GET requests that came in. But I'm going to go ahead and log into GitHub here, specifically the Fenix repository. I'm going to go into my settings. I'm going to create a simple webhook here. And for the payload, I'm going to put in my current tunnel, the public tunnel that I copied and pasted out of Fenix. I'm going to go ahead and add this webhook. And now I'm going to create I'm just going to create a simple issue here. Or actually, you know what? I will go ahead and create a minor change to the repository here. So let's go into the README. I'm going to edit this. Test. Commit those changes. And GitHub should be sending a webhook out now for this. I'm going to go back into the webhooks. Here we go. and you'll notice that that webhook was sent. It said we couldn't deliver this because the service timed out. I'm going to double check, make sure. Let's redeliver that. And I actually realized that this should be sending in JSON. So let's try redelivering that again. And there we go. So now that post came through, and here's a simple hook that was sent. And you'll notice here's the payload that they sent. Just again, a simple test from an external website that has come into our Fenix Webhook, our request browser. Again, color-coded just like anything else, and available publicly, even though it's running on your local desktop. So it's very much like a request bin, which there are several services out there, but this is just kind of a convenient way of doing the same thing. Also being able to do it on your local machine when you're not connected to the internet. So for example, if you're on the train, headed into work or out of work and working on your favorite side project or something of that nature, with spotty Wi-Fi connectivity, then you're still going to be able to do things. So if you're using this from the back end, you should still be able to keep working.